Maddie, is there anything you want me to pray for you for? And she'll share what she might be struggling with, or if there's something she's trying to discern in her life at that time. And she'll just open her heart, this is the key, not to me, but to Jesus. Think about this. How intimate is this? My wife lets me listen to the conversation she has with God. When I got married, I was pretty cocky. I probably still am a bit cocky. When I got married, I was like, man, I'm blessed to have her and she's blessed to have me. And I was like, but I reckon deep down she's more blessed to have me. Didn't take long. Honestly, did not take long. And I was like, you muppet. I am so much more blessed to have her than she is to have me. I was like, she is 10 times the woman I thought she was even before we got married. And when you get married, you begin to see all your faults even more, right? It's like marriage is like a painful mirror where you're like, man, I'm not nowhere near as nice or as awesome as I thought I was, right? Because it showcases your wounds so much more. But in our marriage, it's such a blessing that when Maddie and I come together in prayer, right, that we can be on board together with that. You know, whether it's going to Mass on Sunday or during the week, whether it's singing praise and worship songs at night with our 2 boys. I love doing that. It's like our evening thing, right? After dinner, they don't say the whole rosary. We often say, you know, the first Our Father, 3 Hail Marys, Glory Be, with Joseph and Tommy. But then we sing a praise and worship song, and Joseph's bouncing around like a monkey, right? And then he goes to bed. But it's such a joy that Maddie and I are on board with that. Rosary, we're on board with that. So that joy of living our marriage in the faith and through the faith, seeing, honestly, this is beautiful, seeing my wife teaching Joseph about Jesus. Or when Maddie might walk in and see me praying with Joseph. Think about that, okay? For every young lady in the room, what kind of a husband do you want to have? Is it somebody that is going to be on his knees with your child, teaching them the Our Father, the Hail Mary, the Glory Be, singing praise and worship, right? Or not? For the men, when you're at work and your wife is with your child, where they often spend more time with the child, what kind of messages are they going to be sending to that child? How are they going to be living and teaching the faith and living the faith? One of the most intimate things I can do with Madeline is open heart prayer to God. One of the most special things I can do with Maddie is that we might be sitting on the lounge together. We'll have candles burning on our little prayer altar, or a pretty prayer table, and I'll be holding her hand, and I'll just say, Maddie, is there anything you want me to pray for you for? And she'll share what she might be struggling with, or if there's something she's trying to discern in her life at that time. And she'll just open her heart, this is the key, not to me, but to Jesus. Think about this. How intimate is this? My wife lets me listen to the conversation she has with God. Isn't that beautiful? She allows me to listen to that intimate conversation with God where she's pouring out her heart to God. And then I will place my hand on her shoulder and I'll intercede for her. And I'll ask the Lord to bless or give whatever it is that she's dealing with or struggling with. And then after that, she'll say, Simon, what would you like prayer for? And I'll open up to God, and she listens to me bare my heart and soul to God, and then she intercedes for me as well. Or we'll pray for healing, or whatever it is. It's like that kind of stuff. And sadly, I've met Catholics, fired up Catholics, that will say prayer is personal. I would never do that. I think, man, you're missing out. You're missing out on one of the most intimate experiences you could possibly have with your spouse, to pray with them. Amen? Now, I don't know what kind of marriage you were raised in. I don't know if you ever saw your parents pray that way or pray as a couple. I have no idea. But it's a good question to at least ask, is that something that I would want to have? Now, of course, there are exceptions to this. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 14, St. Paul says that the unbelieving husband is sanctified by his believing wife, and vice versa, right? That the unbelieving wife could be sanctified by the faithful husband. So we know, as much as what I want to say there has meaning, we know the Lord may call some to marry someone who does not believe. Okay? And God may use that to sanctify the one who does not believe in him, to bring him closer or her closer to God.